Did you know over 500,000 Americans will sleep without a roof tonight? In 2025, the homelessness crisis has reached a tipping point, and it's closer to your neighborhood than you think. Let's unpack the truth behind the headlines. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. America is often seen as a land of opportunity, a place where dreams can come true and where the streets are metaphorically paved with gold. Yet, for a significant number of people, this vision is far from reality. Instead of opportunity, they find themselves in a constant struggle for basic necessities. But for many, it's a place without a home. The harsh reality is that homelessness is not just a lack of a physical structure to call one's own. It is a profound absence of security and stability. Homelessness isn't just sleeping on a bench, it includes anyone without a stable, adequate place to live. This definition encompasses a wide range of living situations that are often overlooked. Families doubling up in cramped apartments, people in motels, and those who find themselves in temporary accommodations are all part of this hidden crisis. These living conditions are often precarious and can change at a moment's notice, and those in shelters all count. This crisis affects veterans who have served their country only to find themselves without a home, seniors who should be enjoying their golden years, working parents who juggle multiple jobs yet still can't afford housing, and children across every state, city, and rural town. These children face unique challenges, from disrupted education to the emotional toll of instability. The face of homelessness is diverse, shattering old stereotypes. It affects people from all walks of life, regardless of age, race, or background. It's not just about lacking a roof. It's about losing safety, privacy, and a foundation for life. The absence of these basic elements can lead to a cascade of other issues. Without a home, daily life becomes a struggle. Finding work, staying healthy, and maintaining a sense of dignity become monumental tasks. And helping children succeed in school. Education, a key to breaking the cycle of poverty, becomes a challenge when stability is absent. Homelessness is a web of challenges, each making the next harder to overcome. The interconnected nature of these issues means that solving one often requires addressing several others simultaneously. These are our neighbors, people failed by systems meant to protect them. They are individuals who have slipped through the cracks of a system that is supposed to provide support. Their stories reflect deep issues, economic inequality, a housing crisis, and systemic failures that have persisted for decades, and gaps in our safety net. These gaps leave many vulnerable to the whims of an unpredictable economy. To understand homelessness in 2025, we must look beyond the surface and see the real human cost. It's about understanding the emotional and psychological toll it takes on individuals and families. It's a national tragedy unfolding in plain sight. Despite its visibility, it often goes unnoticed by those who are not directly affected. Recognizing its many forms is the first step toward real solutions. Only by acknowledging the complexity and diversity of homelessness can we begin to address it effectively and compassionately. The numbers in 2025 are staggering. Over 650,000 Americans are homeless on any given night. That's more than the population of major cities like Miami or Atlanta. Nearly a third are families with children, and child homelessness in the U.S. is among the highest in the developed world. Older adults and veterans are increasingly affected, many priced out by rising rents and fixed incomes. The crisis is spreading fastest in suburbs and rural areas where resources are scarce. Homelessness is not just an urban issue, it's everywhere, and it's growing. Behind every statistic is a person in crisis demanding our urgent attention. Homelessness is rarely a choice. It's the result of a series of crises that can happen to anyone, regardless of background or circumstance. Most people don't expect to lose their homes, but the reality is that a combination of factors can quickly unravel the stability many take for granted. The biggest driver is the soaring cost of housing. In 2025, even people working full-time jobs often find themselves unable to afford a modest apartment in their city. Rent prices have outpaced wages for years, leaving families and individuals stretched thin, sometimes spending more than half their income just to keep a roof over their heads. All it takes is one emergency, like a sudden medical bill, a car breaking down, or an unexpected job loss, to push families over the edge. Without a financial safety net, these setbacks can quickly become overwhelming. Unemployment, eviction, and a lack of savings make the path from having a home to living on the streets shockingly short. Many Americans are just one missed paycheck away from losing their housing. Health problems, especially when there's no access to affordable care, can spiral into job loss and eviction. Medical debt is a leading cause of bankruptcy, and without support, people can find themselves unable to recover. Mental health and substance use issues are often left untreated, trapping people in a cycle that's hard to break. Without proper care, these challenges can make it nearly impossible to maintain stable housing or employment. Domestic violence forces many women and children to flee their homes with nowhere safe to go. Shelters are often full, and the trauma of leaving everything behind can make rebuilding even harder. Young people aging out of foster care or rejected by their families because of their identity or circumstances are at especially high risk. With few resources and little support, they often have nowhere to turn. These stories show that homelessness is almost always a last resort, not a lifestyle choice. People experiencing homelessness are often doing everything they can to survive and get back on their feet. It's a crisis that can happen to almost anyone, reminding us that compassion and understanding are essential as we work toward solutions. For those without a home, every day is about survival. Finding shelter is a constant challenge. Shelters are often full and sleeping outside is dangerous. Accessing food, water, and restrooms becomes a daily battle. Health and hygiene suffer, making chronic illnesses and infections common. Mental health deteriorates under relentless stress and trauma. Social stigma and discrimination add to the burden, making it harder to seek help. Families struggle to keep children fed and in school. The daily grind of homelessness is exhausting, both physically and emotionally, yet many hold on to hope for a better future. Governments and communities have launched many programs, but the response is fragmented. Federal agencies like HUD fund shelters and housing vouchers, but demand far exceeds supply. Some cities try emergency shelters or tiny home villages, others invest in housing first, which gets people into homes quickly. Nonprofits and faith groups fill gaps, running shelters and food banks, but they're often overwhelmed. Navigating help is complex, with different agencies and requirements. There's little coordination between housing, healthcare, and justice systems. Despite dedicated efforts, the system struggles to keep up with rising need. What's needed is a unified, proactive approach, not just patchwork solutions. To truly understand homelessness, we must listen to the voices of those who have experienced it firsthand, like Maria, a devoted mother of 2 from Denver. Her journey is not just a story of hardship, but a testament to the strength and resilience that so many families are forced to summon in the face of overwhelming adversity. For years, Maria's family lived a stable, modest life. But everything changed when her husband fell seriously ill. The medical bills piled up quickly, draining their savings and leaving them unable to pay rent. Despite their best efforts, the family was eventually evicted from their apartment, thrust into a world of uncertainty. With nowhere else to go, they found themselves sleeping in their car. Maria did everything she could to keep life as normal as possible for her children, reading bedtime stories by flashlight and reassuring them that things would get better, even as she worried about their safety each night. When the car was eventually towed, the family entered a crowded homeless shelter. They were grateful for a roof over their heads, but the shelter was noisy and stressful, filled with other families facing their own struggles. Privacy was scarce, and the constant uncertainty took a toll on everyone. Maria's children, once cheerful and outgoing, began to withdraw. They suffered from nightmares, anxiety, and long periods of silence. Maria worried about the lasting impact this instability would have on their young lives. Every day, Maria pushed herself to search for housing and work. She spent hours at the public library, filling out job applications and meeting with housing agencies. The exhaustion was constant, and the stigma of homelessness weighed heavily on her, but she refused to give up. Eventually, a local nonprofit organization stepped in. They helped Maria secure a spot in transitional housing and enrolled her in a job training program. For the first time in months, Maria felt a glimmer of hope that things could change. Maria's resilience is nothing short of inspiring. She faced every setback with determination, always putting her children's needs first. Yet her story is far from unique. Thousands of families across the country face similar challenges every day. Maria shares, "People often assume you did something wrong to end up homeless. They don't see the years of hard work or the sudden misfortunes that can change everything in an instant." She continues, What most people don't realize is how much bad luck and a broken system can play a role. It's not always about poor choices, it's about circumstances beyond your control. We're not looking for a handout, just a chance to get back on our feet, to provide a safe and stable home for our children. Maria's journey is a powerful reminder of how quickly anyone's life can change, and how difficult it can be to recover from a fall. The climb back to stability is steep, filled with obstacles that require courage and support to overcome. Homelessness is not about laziness or lack of ambition. It's about survival in the face of overwhelming odds. It's about families doing whatever it takes to get by, even when the world seems stacked against them. Maria's hope is simple and universal: a stable home, a safe place for her children to grow, and the opportunity to rebuild their lives with dignity. Her story is a call to action, urging us all to look beyond stereotypes and see the humanity behind the crisis. Every person experiencing homelessness has a story, a family, and dreams for a better future. Let Maria's journey remind us that everyone deserves a chance to rebuild, and that with compassion and support, hope can be restored one family at a time. Experts agree, ending homelessness is possible with the right strategies. The Housing First model works. Give people homes first, then offer support for jobs, health, and recovery. The root problem is a lack of affordable housing. We need major investment in building and preserving low-cost homes. Reforming zoning laws and protecting tenants can help prevent evictions. Strengthening the safety net, healthcare, mental health, and unemployment benefits keeps people from falling into crisis. Prevention programs like emergency rental aid are cost-effective and keep families housed. Better coordination between agencies is essential. No one should leave a hospital or foster care to the streets. These solutions require investment, but the long-term savings and social benefits are far greater. It's about investing in people and a stronger society. Homelessness is a human rights issue. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights affirms everyone's right to housing. Housing is not a luxury. It's essential for dignity and participation in society. Framing it as a right shifts the focus from charity to justice and public responsibility. Solutions must include people with lived experience, centering their voices in policy. Recognizing housing as a right means challenging stigma and protecting civil liberties. The kind of society we build depends on whether we ensure everyone has a place to call home. Homelessness affects everyone. It weakens communities and costs us all. Emergency rooms, jails, and lost productivity are expensive consequences. The moral cost is even greater. Homelessness exposes deep inequalities and erodes our shared humanity. When people are housed, they're healthier, children do better, and communities thrive. Businesses benefit from stability, and neighborhoods become safer. Investing in solutions is smart and just. It pays off for society as a whole. Solving homelessness is a test of our values and commitment to justice. It requires collective action from government, business, nonprofits, and citizens. Ending homelessness is about restoring dignity and opportunity for all. In the wealthiest nation on earth, everyone deserves a place to call home. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here is the bonus tip that we promised. Get involved locally. Look up homeless shelters, food banks, or housing advocacy groups in your area. Even a small donation, volunteering a few hours, or simply spreading awareness can make a real impact on someone's life. Compassion in action is how change begins. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.